So the Green Bay Packers making a bunch of moves before kickoff tonight, the most notable of which, of course, is David Bakhtiari being placed on injured reserve, which puts him on the shelf for at least 4 weeks. Now, they get 8 possible returns throughout the year, and you got to think David Bakhtiari will be one of those, hopefully, if his knee in any way, shape, or form rebounds from whatever happened down there in Chicago. I know there's a lot of consternation, a lot of frustration around Bakhtiari's injury situation within the fan base and here on this God-loving internet of ours. But I will say, no one is as frustrated as David himself. So when you start to think about, oh, why did they pay him all that money, even though the injury happened after they paid him, and what are they going to do with him, etc., man, your frustrations do not begin to approach how frustrated David himself is. So just try to think about that. Obviously, it's unfortunate. Bakhtiari seemed to have a way of working. The team down the stretch in 2022 seemed to have a pretty good handle on what kind of regiment was necessary to make sure that he was available for game day. He was available past the appendectomy situation, was completely different and very, very rare. Outside of that, he was available down the stretch last year, and it seemed, like I said, like they had a way of managing whatever he's dealing with when it comes to his knee. Coming into the summer, he didn't practice a lot, obviously thinking, you know, we'll make sure he's fresh and ready to go on game day. And that's seemingly what happened in week 1, where he was down in Chicago looking like his old self. And going back this week and looking at the tape, I can't find a particular play or a particular moment where it looks like the knee is bothering him or maybe something happened to aggravate it. Sure feels like this is just a reaction to playing a full game of football that has set something off. And if anyone has forgotten what he talked about when he spoke with CHTV exclusively a few years ago, the year the injury happened, you know, throughout that first season, he was constantly draining his knee. He was trying to make it go, and during practice, it would literally feel, and these are his words, like a water balloon was inside of his knee. Like there was so much fluid, and that's why he was draining his knee consistently, up to 15 times, maybe more. He said roughly 15 times that first year. If you've never seen a knee drained, I highly recommend Googling and or searching here on YouTube for a video of the procedure. I couldn't do that once without just basically melting into nothingness, and David has done that over 15 times that first season. Who knows how many more times he's done it since then, including this season. So as frustrating as it is, please know that David Bakhtiari is doing everything he can to get back out on the football field, and he is entirely 10,000 times more frustrated than you could ever be. It's unfortunate. It really sucks for David and for the Packers. Although I will say, shout out to Brian Gutekunst coming out of the summer. I know there was a lot of talk about potentially trading Josh Nijman. Well, guess what? Maybe one of the reasons he didn't really entertain that is because he knew David's situation was pretty hit and miss, pretty precarious, and he thought, okay, I'm going to protect myself. I'm making sure I've got as much tackle depth as possible. That sure looks prescient now because they are certainly going to need that depth along the way while David misses these next 4 games. Obviously, Rasheed Walker's been playing well, so that's a good thing. That's a good development, and who knows if Zach Tom is available to go tonight. We'll see here in a little while when the inactives get announced, but if Zach isn't, you got to think, well, thank goodness Josh Nijman is there. So the Packers are situated that they can weather this storm. It's just very unfortunate that a 5-time All-Pro can't be out on the field to help this young offense, and Jordan Love in particular. But we will see how this progresses throughout the season. It is a long season, and the fact that they have done this, they made the decision now, probably tells you that they hope they can get past it mid-season and have him available down the stretch, much like they did last year. In the meantime, I'll be talking live pre-game stuff in a little bit, so make sure you join me if it's prior to 4:30 Eastern on game day. Otherwise, please hit like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, and tell your family. CHTV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.